It started quietly and unnoticed, as it usually does. My brother, Maxim, and I have always been close. He was not just a brother to me, but my best friend, my support in life. When he met Katya, I was happy for him. Katya was a bright, kind girl, and their relationship seemed perfect. They got married a year after they met, and soon found out they were expecting a child. It was happy news for the whole family. But then something began to change. Maxim started to stay late at work a lot, and when he came home, he looked tired and irritable. I noticed that he no longer glowed with happiness as he used to. Sometimes when I met him, I saw a shadow in his eyes, but I wrote it off as fatigue. Katya was excited about motherhood. She took care of herself and the future child, tried to create a cozy atmosphere in the house. I often visited them and helped as much as I could. One day, I noticed Katya bending down to adjust Maxim's shoes before he left for work. She did it with such love and care that I couldn't help but admire it. One evening, when Katya was 7 months pregnant, she called me in tears. Her voice was shaking, and I immediately realized that something was wrong. "Dennis, can you come?" she asked through her tears. I immediately went to their house. Katya was sitting on the sofa, clutching her phone in her hands, her eyes full of tears. She showed me the correspondence she had accidentally found on Maxim's phone. There were messages from another woman, full of love and passion. I felt my heart clench with pain for her. "I don't know what to do," Katya whispered, wiping away her tears. I trusted him so much. I hugged her, trying to comfort her. But words seemed useless. She was broken. Her world had collapsed overnight. Katya told me that she noticed strange changes in Maxim's behavior, but she couldn't believe that he was capable of cheating. The next day, I decided to talk to Maxim. We met at our favorite cafe, where we used to spend a lot of time together. Maxim was tense and nervously playing with his spoon. "What's going on, Max?" I started straightforwardly. "Katya found your correspondence. She knows about your cheating." My brother's face turned pale. He froze, as if in a daze. "It's a mistake, Dennis," he mumbled, his eyes downcast. "I didn't mean for things to turn out this way. Do you realize what you've done? Katya is carrying your child. How could you?" Maxim was silent. The words were stuck in his throat. I could see him struggling with his inner demons, but he couldn't find the words to justify himself. "You know this will destroy our family," I continued. "Katya loves you. She doesn't deserve this." Maxim was silent. The words were stuck in his throat. I could see him struggling with his inner demons, but I couldn't find the words to justify myself. "You know this will destroy our family," I continued. "Katya loves you. She doesn't deserve this." Maxim finally raised his eyes and looked at me with despair. I know I was wrong, but I don't know how to make it right. A few days later, Maxim decided to tell Katya everything. They had a long talk, and I knew it would not be an easy conversation. Katya was shattered. Her world had collapsed overnight, but I saw determination in her eyes. "I forgive you, Maxim," she said quietly, "but I won't forget this. You must prove that you really want to be with me and our child." Maxim, as hard as it was for him, realized that he would lose everything if he didn't change. He vowed that he would never let that happen again and began working to rebuild their relationship. Months passed. Their son was born, and they named him Andrei. Maxim struggled to be the best husband and father he could be. He quit his job, which took up all his time, and found another one to spend more time with his family. He visited a psychologist, working on his problems. Katya gradually began to forgive him. It wasn't easy, and at times she still had doubts, But she saw how Maxim had changed. He became more attentive, caring, and sincere. Despite her efforts, Katya couldn't completely forget the betrayal. She often remembered the pain she had experienced, and it prevented her from trusting Maxim completely. One day, after a particularly difficult day, when Andrei could not sleep, Katya burst into tears. "Why, Maxim?" she asked. "Why did you do this to me?" Maxim came to her, took her hands, and looked into her eyes. "Katya, I was a fool. I didn't appreciate what I had. Now I realize how important you are to me. I'm willing to do anything to regain your trust." Katya looked at him, feeling her heart begin to beat faster again. She saw the sincerity in his eyes, but the fear of betrayal still lived in her soul. Katya found support from her family and friends during this difficult time. They helped her not only to take care of the child, but also gave her moral support. One day, her friend Anya came to visit and brought a box of cakes. "You know, Katya," she said, sitting down at the table, "everyone makes mistakes. It's important that people learn from them and become better people." Katya nodded, trying to smile. She realized that forgiveness was a process, and it took time. Maxim, for his part, was trying to show that he had changed. He spent more time with his family, helped around the house, and was always there when Katya needed support. It had been over a year since Katya had found out about the affair. She had seen Maxim change. He became more attentive, caring, and responsible. One evening, when they had put Andrei to bed, Katya decided to talk to Maxim. "Maxim," she began, sitting next to him on the sofa, "I can see how hard you're trying. I know it's not easy for you, but I also want you to know that I still love you." Maxim looked at her gratefully and hugged her. "I know, Katya. I love you more than anything in the world, and I'm grateful that you gave me a second chance." Katya felt her heart soften. She realized that trust was not instantly restored, but she could see that Maxim was sincerely trying. Their love grew stronger every day. Time passed, and their relationship grew stronger. Katya and Maxim learned to appreciate every moment they spent together. They traveled, spent a lot of time with Andrei, rejoiced at his first steps and words. Maxim became a real example for his son, showing how important it is to be honest and faithful. One day, on their 5th wedding anniversary, Maxim prepared a surprise for Katya. He took her to the place where they first met. There, under the starry sky, he got down on one knee and gave her a new ring. "Katya," he said, "I want to ask you anew to be my wife. I promise that I will love and protect you all my life." Katya could not hold back her tears. She hugged Maxim and whispered, "Yes, I agree." Now their family was stronger than ever. Katya and Maxim had overcome many difficulties, but their love had only grown stronger. They learned to forgive and support each other in any situation. Their house was full of laughter and joy, and little Andrei grew up in an atmosphere of love and care. One evening, sitting by the fireplace, Katya looked at Maxim and smiled. "You know," she said, "I think that our ordeal has only made us stronger. We have become better at understanding each other and appreciating what we have." Maxim nodded and hugged her. "I'm happy that we have a second chance, and I will never let you down again, Katya." Their story, full of pain and suffering, ended with hope and forgiveness. They learned to appreciate every moment and always be there for each other. Their journey was not easy, but that is what made their relationship so strong and real. Several years passed, and Katya and Maxim were still together, raising their children and enjoying every day. Their love became an example for everyone around them. showing that even the toughest trials can be overcome if you have the desire and faith in the best. Their story was a living proof that true love can survive everything and become only stronger. And every time they looked at each other, they knew that together they could overcome any obstacle.